right now, Todd Blanche's confirmation hearing for Attorney General continues on Capitol Hill. Today, the Senate Judiciary Committee will hear from several witnesses both in support of and against Blanche. The witnesses include an Epstein survivor and a former U.S. Attorney General. Yesterday, the acting Attorney General faced tough questions from lawmakers, including about the president's IRS audit immunity deal and the anti-weaponization fund. When grilled about the department's handling of the Epstein files, he acknowledged mistakes were made, but declined to meet with survivors personally. In another notable exchange, Blanche appeared to correct himself when asked about his relationship with President Trump.
Are you and President Trump friends?
I'm his lawyer, was his lawyer.
CBS News Department of Justice reporter Jake Rosen is live from our Washington bureau. So, Jake, what can we expect to hear from the witnesses that are set to take the stand today? And how heavily do you think their comments are going to weigh on his confirmation?
Well, that bite that you just played, Kelly, of Todd Blanche kind of slipping up there, saying that he was his lawyer or is his lawyer, and then correcting himself to say that he is now currently the acting attorney general, is kind of the Rorschach test that is going to be reflected today upon the witnesses and the questions that we see them, but also how senators who are still undecided on voting to confirm Todd Blanche are going to kind of see the next couple of days and weeks going into this vote. We're going to have Danny Bensky, who's an Epstein survivor, talk as a witness today, as well as a former U.S. pardon attorney who was fired allegedly because she was directed by the White House to restore actor Mel Gibson's gun rights, even though he is a felon. She resigned over that in multiple interviews with CBS News over the last year, has explained why it's so important for this firewall to be in place between the Justice Department and the executive branch. Todd Blanche sees President Trump as his boss, and for some senators, both in the Republican Party and most Democrats, see that as a major issue.
All right, so where do members of the Senate Judiciary Committee stand on Blanche's nominations? We've seen John Cornyn make comments to you and other reporters that he's on the fence, but ultimately, we've also seen this play out over the last 10 years or so, where a lawmaker suggests that they have real questions and, real problems, or they're, extremely concerned or disturbed about allegations, and then ultimately they are in lockstep with the president. What are you hearing?
Exactly, Vlad. And it's not just Cornyn, it's also Tom Tillis of North Carolina. Both men are not going to be in the next Senate. They're not running for re-election anymore or have lost their primaries. Here's what John Cornyn told our CBS colleagues on the Hill yesterday after the hearing.
You're still undecided at this point.
Correct.
But what are your concerns? What's your biggest concern, and why are you undecided?
Well, it's been a concern all along. He's as the president's private lawyer. He's now taken on a new role. I want to make sure he understands the difference.
And there's still a lot of undecided energy kind of among these Republicans who would be the final nails in the coffin to make Todd Blanche the permanent attorney general. It seems like, at least based on conversations with lawmakers after they left that hearing, specifically John Cornyn and Tom Tillis, that Blanche still has work to do to convince them that this anti-weaponization fund is not going to come back from the grave, and also that this firewall that both men see as very important is going to remain in place should Todd Blanche get this job permanently.
All right, Jake, we're going to be following it today. Thank you so much.